What is up, guys? It is Ween36 with me, and welcome back to Commentary Friday on a Tuesday, but that's alright, because why not? And it's number 36. That is right, number 36. Like I said, I was going to play Street Fighter 5 today, but obviously, as you can tell, I'm not, and there's a reason why. That's why this whole video is being made. It's because I'm like, damn it, why did you have to do this, Capcom? But whatever. Let me talk about it. So, if you didn't hear, maybe you did buy Street Fighter 5, and you might be thinking, wait, why can't they play with the computer? What happened? What happened? What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. So, they really kind of released it in not a complete package, which really is a shame, because like I said, I was gonna buy it, but until last night I was on the Juices Loose. I guess it depends on what time this was, but if you don't know what the Juices Loose is, it's on Terminator Juice's channel. You should check him out. And I was in there, and one of the guys on there, his name is Terrell, and he's like, oh, are you getting Street Fighter 5? I'm like, yeah. And then he starts explaining all this stuff that's not in the game and that's coming in later. I'm like, huh. I guess I'm not buying Street Fighter 5 then tomorrow. Basically, right now it's got these very little story modes for each character, and very, very short. Like, I think it's like a couple minutes each, and that's it. Like that and online battle, which I heard the online's not working very well. I pretty much thought that most fighting games are like that for a while, at least. Not every single one, but some of them. What are you gonna do? I mean, they had a beta for multiple times. I don't know why it's that bad, but whatever. In March, they're separating it to March and June. In March, whenever you beat one of those tiny little stories that you get for each character, you get an alternate costume, but you're not gonna be able to actually use that alternate costume until they put in a shop in March. And it's like, wait a second. So you're telling me that you were going to be able to play all these fighters, right? But you can't get your alternate costume until later on, even though you technically already earned it. It's like, that shows that the game's not complete, and they're just releasing it to release it because they're like, alright, we could do this, let's do it. And then, that's weird. And then the challenges mode, it's there on the main menu, I believe, but you can't play it until March. It's like 4 modes, which is Battle Tips, Trials, and that comes in March, while Targets and Extra Battles comes out soon after launch. Who knows when that comes out, but they just say soon after launch. Very, very,
Soon. So Capcom, when can I play the Targets and the Extra Battle?
soon, ho. And it's like, damn, okay. And, then the 8-player lobbies and the spectator mode is coming out in March. For me, personally, that doesn't really affect gameplay in all reality. 8-player lobbies or spectator mode. Spectator mode is more useful than 8-player lobbies, I would think. You can only do 2-player lobbies, which is, I mean, that's perfectly fine. It is a one-on-one fighting game majority of the time, so that's perfectly fine with me. But, you know, that comes later, whatever. That doesn't really affect gameplay. And then the weird thing is the CPU battle isn't there. Like, if you wanted, for me and for majority of people actually, and that's probably a statistic somewhere, I don't know where, but I guarantee you that most people still play versing a CPU. I guarantee you there's a lot of people that can't connect to the internet still, or maybe have a slow internet and they don't want to deal with that, or the internet like it is right now, and you can't even get on the internet. You'd rather play with a CPU, but you can't. You can only play local multiplayer. Capcom, I've got no one in my house, or if I were to invite like a friend over, they still wouldn't be as good as a CPU. You know what I mean? Like, the CPU is going to train you to become more competitive and probably have more fun overall, maybe. I don't know, for me, at least. And if you want to hone your skills, you're not going to use a random friend that has never played the game. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And the proper story mode, the actual story mode, isn't coming until June. And it's like, it's obvious this game was meant to come out in June, but they wanted to release it early because who knows why. And people keep saying Evo, but it's like, really? I don't think so. Honestly, I really don't think so. I think they just, well, maybe. I bet you that was a part of it, maybe. But there's no way they could have still trained it with professional, be like, all right, professional players, you guys are gonna do this. Here's some early access copies or something. Not release it in total as it's not a complete game, you know. And it's weird because it's Street Fighter 5, not Street Fighter 1. You know, there's been so many other Street Fighters before that they've all come out complete and with story modes and everything, and CPU, again, specifically the 1v CPU battle. Like, you can't do that. That just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And especially right now, the online is not working. What are you playing on the game? It just doesn't. There's no logic in that. Like, come on, Capcom. And come on, Sony also, because they probably were like, all right, well, let's do it. We know it's not in a complete condition. Let's do it. And it's a shame. It's a shame. I was excited. I wasn't, let's go Street Fighter 5. But I like fighting games. I play a lot of Super Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat X. I play them both competitively. I probably wouldn't play Street Fighter 5 competitively. I would just like to play for fun and maybe try to get good at it, though. At least try with at least one character or something. Because, you know, I couldn't do that even if I tried. And that's a shame. That's a real shame. And now people keep comparing this to Splatoon, and it's like, Splatoon was a complete game at launch. Whether you like it or not, that was a complete game. It had a single player, a full-fledged single player. It had, it had unlockables out the ass. Like, it was a complete game because you also had a local multiplayer, whether you liked it or not. It had the, what is it called? The online multiplayer. It had Turf War. Didn't have Rank Battle, but within a couple of days you already had Rank Battle. And then you had already maps. And you already had a bunch of guns. And you already had a bunch of gear. Everything that's in it from today is still the same thing. The only thing they gave you was maps. And sure, this still doesn't change. It adds more to the game, but it doesn't add modes. Like, sure, you get the Rainmaker and all that kind of stuff, but it was a complete package at launch. It had everything you needed: single player, local multiplayer, online multiplayer. While Street Fighter 5 doesn't. It doesn't have the story mode. It doesn't have one versus CPU or CPU versus CPU. It doesn't have that. It just doesn't. Like, if you told me Spectator mode and 8-player lobbies are coming out later, alright, cool, whatever, I would have bought the game already. Cool. But the fact that you don't have all these things not in the game already, specifically the story mode and the one versus CPU battle, that's just weird, man. That's just very strange. The other ones, like the alternate costumes, it's still strange that it's not in the game, even though you already beaten it technically and you're supposed to have it. And the battle tips, trials, targets, extra battle, if you want to do that after launch, whatever. I mean, that doesn't, it's not like everyone's, yo, I'm ready to get Street Fighter 5 with those challenges, man. No one's doing that. But people do it to play the game, and if you bought the game today and you're struggling to get online, what are you playing? And that's just a weird thing that shouldn't have been done. And don't compare it to Splatoon. Don't compare it to any game. It's right now its own failure right now. Like, it's own, whoa, what the hell just happened there? But I'll be getting the game in June. I will be. Just because I want to play the game. I think it's gonna be everyone's been saying the core mechanics are great, because I tell you what, Street Fighter 5 is probably a great game. And especially when it gets in June, it's probably going to be an awesome game. But right now, it's feeling empty, and Splatoon definitely wasn't empty at launch, because you already had single player, multiplayer, local multiplayer, gear, weapons. It had all that. This doesn't. So, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I'm gonna get it in June. I hope you guys get it too, because it's gonna be a fun game though. Regardless, I'm gonna get my ass whooped, but it's gonna be fun. So I'll see you guys next time. I was gonna play the game today, but whatever. I'll go play Xenoblade or something. I don't know. I might have Xenoblade footage in the background. We'll see what goes on. Bye bye, guys. Go see Deadpool. Deadpool's awesome, man.